and good day to everybody. This is your host, Jyoti, again on this show for Lessons Learned, and today we are doing an episode 2 where we have a very amazing guest joining us. I have Mr. Ramandeep Garewal, who is the Vice President of India Association of Manitoba. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti.
First of all, thank you for taking time out today and coming to our studio, and we're definitely going to have a very meaningful conversation and give out some important information to our viewers. So I guess let's jump right in. I would like you to give a little bit of a background of your involvement in India Association of Manitoba.
Sure, Jyoti. First of all, thank you very much for letting us come here and give us a opportunity to discuss what we are doing, what India Association is all about. Before I get into the program, I would like to let the audience a little bit about India Association of Manitoba,
Sure.
Who we are, and what we are doing. So, India Association of Manitoba, probably older generation in Winnipeg already know about that, an organization that started in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the oldest organizations in Canada itself in
Wow.
the cultural and arts program, and ever since, this organization has been involved in arts, preservation of culture, and helping the communities in natural disasters and calamities. And in the same mission and mandate, so we are back again in the community with the COVID Seva initiative.
Okay.
This COVID Seva initiative is sponsored by Employment and Social Development of Canada,
Okay.
and administered by Red Cross of Canada. And we are proud to bring quite a few programs under this initiative.
Awesome. So you mentioned like you are working on a project, and while we were talking back in the green room, you mentioned like COVID Seva is the project that currently India Association is focusing on, keeping you very busy.
Right.
So give us a little bit overview, I would say, as to what it focuses or intends on giving to the community as a,
So, COVID Seva initiative is basically, as I said, the program is funded by the ESDC, Employment and Social Development of Canada.
Mhm.
So, program has 3 components. The first one is direct food aid to the beneficiaries, and the beneficiaries could be any vulnerable people or people who need help under that food. So, we will provide food handouts to the audience in this one.
Okay.
And the second part is mental health. So we know that is probably one of the least discussed area, and the COVID has created some situations in the society, in the personal and as well as in the community sphere that needs to be addressed. And the third one is recruitment and training of volunteers.
Okay.
There are lots of people who cannot go out because either they're scared because of fear of catching COVID, or they're too old because they're vulnerable. So these recruitment and training initiatives will focus on enriching people to help these seniors and the vulnerable people.
Okay. So, for sure, I understand, all those 3 initiatives involved in this entire project. Sounds like this is the requirement of the current situation, right? But at what point, India Association, and I understand you are the project leader, for sure you have a team supporting you. At what point you guys realize that this is something needs to be, brought to the community, that they need this, right?
So this pretty much started right in February, and when there was some documentation was flowing on, the government was proactive at the federal level, and so that's at every level, provincial as well as on the municipal level, and the programs were flowing in, and from that time on, it was pretty much in February, when the COVID the cases were started to be reported in Winnipeg, that we wanted to help people.
Okay.
But there's always like there's a lag, like you have to come up with a team and then you have to find the funding. So but this program is being worked on since last 6 months, and we hope to carry on this for another couple of months with the government of and as well as ESDC and the Red Cross.
I see. So first of all, congratulations from our end. That's a really great work you guys are doing, and again, I'm definitely aware of that it's a volunteer, so it requires a lot of time and motivation. So what motivated you, or being here with India Association of Manitoba for quite a long, right?
So It only started 5 years ago in my personal capacity, and so I just started doing volunteer work with the India Association in Fukurama. Then basically I had a taste of being part of an organization where I can basically make some change in the society. And the organization India Association of Manitoba is so conductive and supportive that it let me an opportunity to sit on the board eventually. And then I kind of like rose through the ranks, became treasurer and then vice president last year. And so I my personal motivation was that we need some very assertive and targeted and directed policies in order to come up with the policy changes in the government, because we understand the needs of our community much better than anybody else. So if somebody is consulting us, that's something different. If we get involved in the process, that will be much efficient, as well as we can achieve more audience as well as effectiveness.
Perfect. Yeah, and I agree with you. Like it's better connection that way coming in from your community. Although there are other resources as well, but reaching out to your own community people, representing them, it just feels more personalized, I believe, right?
It does. It does. It gives you basically there's like if you go back 100 years ago, I think we talk a lot about our community and the struggle that the community has gone through to basically get India in 1947, and those people who invested 100 years ago,
Right.
had they not invested 100 years ago, we would have
Right.
never got probably
Our independence,
Stephen.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what not that
Somebody
we-
has to come out there.
somebody has to come
step
up.
out, right?
Somebody has to come up, and somebody has to start the conversation in the community. And we believe the India Association has been doing that since 1965, and we are just continuing that part of our responsibilities and our eagerness to do it and keep it on.
Have the support out to the community.
Absolutely.
Right. So I understand it's already launched and on the ground doing its work. And when I'm saying it's launched, I'm talking about COVID Seva,
Yeah.
right? So you had done few initiatives in the community already. I guess and I'll let you mention some of those that we talked about
Right.
earlier. Yeah.
So all the three segments I mentioned, they're already on the go, and there is a progress, and I would say we are very close to 50% at this point in the completion, and they're happening as we talk about, and the volunteers are on the ground. And I would like to mention a few of the programs that
Sure,
people
yeah.
may be interested in having access to.
Right.
So we have launched a program called Yoga Asana by one of our volunteers, long-time volunteers in the community actually, Mrs. Samita Gupta.
Okay.
So what is happening is every day, Tuesday to Thursday,
Okay.
9:15 to 10:15, online Yoga Asana classes by Mrs. Gupta.
That's
So India Association, through the help of these grants, is supporting that program. So we are hoping, it's not hoping at this point. I would like to share this news at this point that we are having 45-hour sessions every day.
Very
That
nice.
means 45 people are coming online and taking those yoga classes in this 1 hour session.
And what was the time? I just want to have it to the viewers out there again. So Tuesday and Thursday?
So it is Tuesday to Thursday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. The more details about how to access this program are on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And you can search India Association of Manitoba on facebook.com.
I would just say like that page and just follow it, right?
Absolutely.
There's quite a bit of good information on
Absolutely.
that page, and you'll find out how this COVID Seva, will bring out more for you, and how this
Yeah.
COVID Seva could be helpful for you.
Yes, absolutely. Like it, share it, and please, if anybody who don't have access to Facebook, just call them, let them know, and make sure you set up their computers for these seniors or anybody. Actually, this program is open for all age groups.
Perfect. Okay.
All age groups. So if there's anybody who cannot have access to computer, please help them,
Mm-hmm.
and or let us know how we can help in letting them access this program.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this program will be on at least until December 31st, and we are making all the efforts to make sure that this program is carried on after January 1st as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And other than that, I am glad to share with you that we are having a Bollywood Gharana online concert on
Okay.
November 1st at 6:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the details are on our Facebook page. Share it, like it, and let the people know how to RSVP for the program. The guidelines you will find on the Facebook and our Twitter account.
Okay.
So Bollywood Gharana is one of the leading group from a mix of males and females in India, Bombay,
Okay.
and they were here in Winnipeg 2 years ago, and it was a houseful show 2 years
Very
ago.
nice. I'm sure.
People were calling us, and we couldn't find more tickets at that time because the
Oh.
seating capacity was done.
Yeah.
And so we were able to get this group do as a very personal programming for us, only for the audience of Winnipeg.
Mhm.
I would call it, it's accessible for anybody actually, but
Yeah.
this was predominantly catered to our needs. So
Yeah.
that will be available. So this is basically introduced in order to do social inclusion and basically remove the side effects of any isolations coming. So you will have just like a
Experience being
concert.
at home, but you're, you
Yeah.
know, some kind of folklorama, being at home being in your sweaters and in your cozy lounges, right?
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the purpose is like
Yeah.
anybody who can get out and
Mhm.
they would do see this exclusive programming for them.
Perfect. Yeah.
And another one we are doing is we are having a couple of sessions.
Mhm.
We have got commitment for 4 sessions from Punjabi Community Health Services. This group is very well-known group out of
Mhm.
Brampton,
Mhm.
run by Sardar Baldev Singh Mutta.
Okay.
He's very good into counseling services. So they will be talking about how to, in the first session,
Mhm.
how to manage children during COVID
I see.
and dissemination of information to children.
Okay.
I would like to share with the audience that I have a personal story.
Mhm.
When this COVID started, I have a three and a half year old son at that point, and when we told him that you can't go out and play because
know.
there's the restrictions in place, and he had a hard time, and
Yeah.
his face was not the same, and there was a literally visible effects on this little boy. So there were like the similar stories coming out of the community at that
Sure,
point. We
yeah.
thought this is very important. How do we talk to children? How do we communicate the information to the children? So we brought Baldev Singh Mutta.
Okay.
So we will be disclosing the details about the session very soon again on our website page. Again, don't forget to like, share, and call the people you know.
For sure.
Yes, and we will be also bringing some sessions from the community leaders in Winnipeg itself.
Mhm.
We will be talking to some seniors, women, and possibly children as well, talking about how do they find their lives changed
Mhm.
in whatever way they are. And then we will try to bring a registered counselor on online, possibly in one of the platforms,
Okay.
and discuss those things, how we can mitigate the risks arising out of those situations.
So basically, get what they are currently facing as a challenges, right, and try to
Absolutely.
work on finding a solution for them.
Yeah.
You know, there are many things that you kind of mentioned in a little bit brief that resonates with almost everybody, right? Everybody has small kids, but we don't feel on their end coming down to their, thinking level when you say 3-year-old, you can go to park, you can go outside, and with winter it's gonna be even harsh, right?
Yes.
So I think this is a very really needed approach that we need actually for somebody to actually address that it's okay to feel that way, right?
Yeah.
And talk to them that there's a solution for this. You're totally in the right shoes.
Yeah.
It's okay and it's normal, right?
Absolutely. So there are many things, like as you rightly said, Jyoti, that it's human nature and things are predictable, that people get feared and we get feared out of what is happening in the society today. But there are solutions for that. So we are basically we are trying to bring it to the people that we don't need to be scared of any of these situations. We just follow the provincial health guidelines,
Right.
and then try to convince people and that the problems they're facing is not only their problems. There's so
Exactly.
many people in the society
Yeah.
that feel same way, no matter what group in the demographics you believe.
You are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm again pleased to announce to the audience that tomorrow we will be having another session with the Voice of India on targeting a very specific demographics of seniors in our community. We will be talking in details about like how our seniors, most of them, they used to travel back to India. Now the COVID has changed all the scenarios because it's not in the control of anybody.
Right.
And many of these the senior citizens have not been able to no, I wouldn't say not being able to, but they chose not to stay in the harsh winters of
Yeah,
Canada, very
right.
specifically
Winnipeg.
Manitoba,
Yeah.
Winnipeg.
Uh-huh.
And so this is creating all sorts of different possibilities in both either direction for them. So we have to come up with how we can mitigate the risk and how we can tell them like what to expect
What
from
support
them.
we can offer them, right?
What support we can offer, absolutely. And anything like even so I think that reminds me, I need to talk a little bit about we are working on a program called ESAT.
ESAT.
So
Okay.
ESAT. So yeah, Sat is a Punjabi word,
Right,
so where you
okay.
get together and like sit
So
in a
basically,
sat.
you're sitting together online. E-transfer, ESAT. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. So we are working on that. We have a team of IT students, and they're working on that. So we will be opening that program very soon. So anybody in the household, they can let the seniors tuned into the computers, and they can start talking, discussing about things they used to discuss in any of the grounds when they used to sit together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's lots of programs in the plan.
Sure.
And we hope that they will be all relevant for the age and the time we are in today. And we hope to get some productive output out of these programs.
So you said productive output. That leads to my next question. Like, what success of this initiative looks like to your team and to the entire project plan, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you measure that? Okay, our project is successful.
Yeah. So I did talk to a couple of seniors about this program, that this is what we are doing. This did lit up their face, and that there's something happening. Somebody is thinking about them. So their families are thinking about them. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But sometimes you need something outside of your family, your friends, and the community, the society, feeling of society and feeling of included as well. So on the top of that, something that has very much changed my the whole measure of how we measure this program's success. A few days ago, we got a call from somebody that there's a family of newcomers.
Okay.
They came to Canada in Winnipeg 2 years ago. I can't disclose the names because
Sure,
of
yeah.
privacy and all that reasons. And so this gentleman started working, and he got laid off when this COVID started. And the arrangement he was under, that he couldn't get any of the benefits. And they had a new baby, and this new baby is basically it's a choice between the diapers or the food.
Wow.
So things like that. We know we are a society of very hardworking people from
Sure.
India. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. We are doing great things.
But sometimes circumstances are not in your control at all.
They
right?
are not. They're
Yeah.
not, and there are families in our community. Those need help, and sometimes like we are, like people who just don't want to, disclose or take your hand out for help. But what I would say is talk to the families, talk to the any demographics around you. Ask them if they need help. If you can help, fair enough. If you can't, let us know. You can call Daljit Kant, our president, at 204-997-0786. Again, 204-979-0786. We will be more than happy. We will get you something. If anybody needs help, don't hesitate, just contact us.
I would definitely insist, like, note, take a note of that phone number, and we'll leave it in our description as well. And again, as mentioned, like, the reason we keep on insisting that like and share India Association of Manitoba pages, intention is that, not only you, maybe you don't need that help right now, but somebody through your circle might look at it, right, and see that this could be something I can reach out or refer it to somebody. So the more we spread, the more we achieve out of this initiative, because this is for you guys, right? This is for your friends and people who actually need this support. So getting back to the conversation we were having, like, reason why I asked that conversation is because there's that stigma in our community, which you briefly touched on it already. People do not talk about it. There's that, fear of being judged.
Yeah.
That they don't want to tell that, when you mentioned about your 3.5-year-old, I could totally relate, because I have a 3-year-old, so very close age.
Right.
You realize it after the fact when somebody mentioned it. Oh, okay, it is okay to mention. So how would you find that people coming out and telling you that yes, we need your help? Because that's the struggle we have in our community, I would say, at this point.
So, as I say, I think so when we get these sessions in place from Punjabi Community Health Services, we will be advertising. I recommend that everybody tune in and listen to the specialist from PCHS, and listen how they suggest you to approach children, and how they suggest you to ask for help, and what are the symptoms that you need help.
Right.
So sometimes, like, we don't know how to, this is the time to get help.
Okay.
But these people, they have decades of experience in guiding people how to find the symptoms that you need help.
Right.
Any demographics, like
Right.
your older, your children, your women, your your men.
Right.
So they will guide you through that, and get into these sessions, and they will also suggest you the solutions as well.
Okay. So maybe the next question is, if I'm calling you, how am I making sure that the privacy is there? Like, I'm not being disclosed out in the community, right?
Right.
So because that would be one of the fear that people would have in their mind. So how are we planning to cover that?
Right. So that's actually a very good question. Even part of the flyers that we sent out, we said that there's, like, even if you don't want to call us, there's an email. You can just let us know what type of help do you need. Absolutely, like, if you need some food related items, then we have to deliver that to a particular address.
Okay.
But I can assure you that that information is closely monitored by myself.
Okay.
I will have access to that information, and I will not let that information go outside of me. And when I'm saying that, I am the signatory on the paperwork with the government, and there are some privacy policies, and we abide by those privacy policies, be it in the provincial or in the federal government. And these privacy policies are very strict, and we have 100% intention to abide by these policies.
Okay, no, that I think would give sense of relief to many who would be considering calling you guys. So, because we are running short of time, although I would love to, touch base on much more that you guys have to offer, but for sure, I will let people reach out to you guys. If you again could repeat the phone number and what's your Facebook page so that they can reach out to you guys.
So at Facebook, you can either search India Association of Manitoba or at IA of MB, and Twitter, again, India Association of Manitoba, search for that. And then you can also call Daljit Kant at 204-979-0786. He will be more than happy to take your calls and get the information. Again, do you need any help with the food or any mental programs that we are running, or if you want to be part of our team, be a volunteer, we are having a couple of trainings from Volunteer Manitoba. We are in conversation with them. These will be all professional trainings, and that will make sure that you have all the tools to go out and help in the community.
Thank you very much for your time again. I think it's really incredible work that you and your team are doing. I congratulate you guys on this initiative and wish you good luck as well. For all my viewers, I would say this is the time to come together and support who needs it, and be strong, and I guess keep everybody around you safe and healthy. Wash your hands and use sanitizers. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode next week. Thank you very much.